It's the weekly armchair kickoff.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly armchair kickoff podcast. We are here live on this lovely Tuesday evening to discuss all things Carabao Cup, and I'm live today with, as ever, on Devil's Advocate with Shane Dowley. Shane, how are you? How are you after a positive result on the weekend?
Good man. 21 is on the way. So I'm feeling good, feeling optimistic, confident. Title charge starts now, so yeah, feeling good.
That's good. That's good to hear. It's good to hear that you're on a bit of a high after a very positive result on the weekend. So I suppose, Shane, look, the first thing we're going to talk about tonight, I know we're going to elaborate kind of on the Carabao Cup game against Everton, because it's a big game in their season. People think the Carabao Cup isn't a big competition, but in terms of trophies in Manchester United this season, I think the Carabao Cup does bear some significance for United fans. I think it's important that Ollie wins a trophy this season, so we will talk about that upcoming game in the Carabao Cup tomorrow against Everton. But first of all, I'd like to just get your thoughts kind of on the game on the weekend against Leeds United. Fantastic result against our rivals in a 6-2 win. We ran out comfortable winners in the end. Like, what was your thoughts on the Leeds game itself, and kind of what did you make of the performance from the lads?
Fucking, it was a mad game, like, because I missed the first 5 minutes and we are 2-0 up already. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was just a crazy game because it was just for like a 6-2 scoreline. It was so open. Like when we were 4-0 up and they got one back, and I was thinking, if they get another one, like, we're definitely gonna lose. Like they're still so I think like they're so in the game for a team that's 3 or 4 goals down. But in hindsight, it was just a good matchup for United. Like I didn't think we'd win. I definitely didn't think we'd win that comfortably. But in hindsight, obviously, the way Leeds go man to man over the field, that kind of just works out well for United, because United needs space. They do better against teams that allow them space in transition and that. And I think was Gary Neville commenting, and I think he said that Lampard, they bet him. It was really important that they outran Leeds to get the result, and I think Solskjaer basically thought the same thing with going McTominay and Fred in the middle. So it was a really good result. I thought United played well, to be fair. Leeds played well too, to be fair, but I think it's kind of overstated how well they played, because like they still got best 6-2, and one of their goals was a screamer from 25-30 yards, and the other goal was from a set piece. So they did okay, but United played really well, I thought. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, so like, look, I suppose for me, like, I echo kind of everything you say. Like, I thought like it was a very good performance. I think we could have scored a lot more goals. I think it was a very open game. I think Solskjaer got his like team selections spot on. And one thing Doug actually mentioned on the show last week, and it's funny actually. Me and the other person, I forget who was on the show with me last week now, but when Doug was on with us, and like we were talking about the team selection, he said Dan James could be actually a very important player in the team this week. And me and him were like, no, you don't start Dan James. Like we kind of shot it down, but Doug was absolutely spot on. Dan James is one of the most important players of the weekend. Is like he was so direct. He played very well. Thought the energy of McTominay and Fred in midfield was absolutely fantastic. Again, Martial, even though he didn't get on the score sheet, I thought his contribution to the team was second to none. Like it was unbelievable. I thought he played very well.
I thought Rashford was brilliant as well.
Yeah, like Rashford again. Like, look, he's been one of our most consistent players since last season. I think he's been absolutely fantastic in a Manchester United shirt. And again, I
think quietly he's been brilliant this season. I think it's kind of gone under the radar a bit. I think he's just been so good.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think he's been fantastic this year. Like he got the goals against PSG in both games. He scored a hat trick against Leipzig. Again, played well the weekend against Leeds. I know he didn't score against City. He had a decent game against them. He was dangerous all round. Like he's a player who I think behind Bruno Fernandes, I think this season he's been like our best player. Do you know, like I think I'd agree with you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he's been absolutely great. Like we haven't even mentioned Bruno today, even though he got 2 goals and an assist. But again, like that's expected. Like, but that shows the level of performance from everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like McTominay was man of the match for me. I thought even though Bruno got 2 goals and an assist, Scott McTominay for me was man of the match. He was everywhere. Like he was unbelievable. And, you know, I know like between myself and yourself, McTominay is a player that we disagree on. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, but like for me, like in these type of games, Scott McTominay, like this is where his quality is. Like against teams who, you know, like where you need to be aggressive. Like during the games, you need someone aggressive in midfield. Scott McTominay is someone you can have in there, like, you know, who will give 110% no matter what in like a derby game. So like, you know, again, like happy with his performance. And again, like another player who like he did play reasonably okay is Fred as well. I know people criticize his passing, but his tenacity, his energy in the field can't be praised enough. I think he's someone who's become very, very important in Man United's midfield in the last kind of couple of months.
Yeah, he's tidy. Lindelof, I thought as well. I think Lindelof quietly the last month is actually having a very decent season. To be fair to him, I think, and I feel like his goal weekend was almost like a reward for that, for his performances lately.
Yeah, like he's like even like you look at his assist last week against Sheffield United. Again, this week against Leeds, very solid. I think he like we mentioned it like a couple of podcasts ago. We said that he's someone who's been low key very good, like in the last kind of couple of weeks. And again, he's starting to show it. Like people are talking about we get a centre back in. I've said it like I think if we get a centre back in, and people have always said if we get a centre back in alongside Maguire that we title challengers. I'd actually disagree. I'd be looking at this and I'd be like, if we get a centre back in alongside the Victor Lindelof, I think that could actually go a long way. I think Lindelof at the moment is probably our best centre half at the moment on current form. Like
I feel like his performances kind of get slept on because as a whole, United have been poor defensively. So, you know, he doesn't get picked out.
He becomes a scapegoat.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he becomes a scapegoat in this team because like he's not the £80 million signing. He's not the captain. He's not English. Like Lindelof is often, you know, pointed out as a kind of the weakest in the defence. But I'd actually disagree. I think Maguire, like I think if you have to look at all the centre backs, like between Lindelof and Maguire, who would I prefer to have? I'd actually prefer Lindelof because like his range of passing is a lot better on the back four. He's a lot more comfortable on the ball than Maguire. He's quicker than Maguire. The advantage Maguire has over Lindelof is his aerial ability. That's literally, I think, the only advantage he has.
Yeah, Lindelof is so much better than 1v1 as well, which is important for us because we're so bad in transition that our centre halves get exposed 1v1 quite a lot. So it's important for him to be able to defend that, and Maguire can't at all.
Yeah,
he's just he's confident, like he's kind of decent at most things, but you know, but he's not brilliant at anything at the same time. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think, especially this season, I think he's definitely the stronger out of the two, out of himself and Maguire.
And you look at it as well when Ollie first came in, even when he's in interim charge. Like Victor Lindelof was one of the best centre backs. He was the best centre back we had. We were all calling him the Iceman. Yeah, we were all calling him like he was unbelievable. I remember when Ollie came in, Victor Lindelof, no one could dribble past him. Like I remember that no one could actually get past the man. So like, and we were saying, "Oh, get Maguire beside him now, and we have a solid centre half partnership." But like again, I think Lindelof is the one that needs to partner there. I don't think it's Harry Maguire at all, to be honest. Even though, look, I'm not going to diss Maguire either. I think Maguire's been reasonably okay, but if we're talking about like if we need a top class centre back in, I don't think Victor Lindelof is the one to get dropped. I actually don't think it is. But then again, Maguire's the £80 million. Think about this though. Maguire's the £80 million centre half. Maguire's the so-called captain.
Ollie's not going to drop Maguire because it reflects bad on him.
for
Ollie's running
signing him,
saying
yeah.
I want to break the bank for him, and he's my captain. So Ollie will never drop Maguire because it just reflects badly on him if he does.
I agree. I agree. Like in terms of your like, let's say you look at the Leeds game kind of there on the weekend. Like for you, who was like I know Scott McTominay is kind of everyone's kind of man of the match. Is there anyone else who kind of stood out for you and you kind of thought like they were man of the match?
I thought Martial was very good, but it's so weird that he seems to like he's done a 180. I remember the last couple of years, he might not play that well, but he wouldn't get his off the ball, he wasn't great, so he wouldn't get a lot of chances because his movement would be lacking. But that like one chance he might get, he'd usually finish it. I thought he a really good finisher, but this season it's like gone the other way, where off the ball and his link up and all that has been really solid, and he's getting quite his chances, and he's just not putting them away, and it's kind of been the case all season. So it's kind of worrying, but at the same time, I'm thinking surely he'll start putting them away soon and he can start racking up a few goals. But at the minute, he's kind of almost getting that kind of Firmino treatment that he's not scoring, but he's doing this, and this for the team. But to be honest, if as a top team, you really should just be getting a striker who's going to do all of them things. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason for you to sacrifice goals to do whatever when you can just get players to do it all.
Yeah, and I think look, Martial. We've been looking at like Martial recently, and he's come under criticism, not even so much from United fans, but rival fans have kind of decided to jump on a
Yeah.
bandwagon of calling Martial a flop. But I look at other strikers over at the blue side of London. A certain man called Timo Werner. He's fucking shit. Just gonna leave that there. But I'm just gonna leave that there. Sean Maroney, I know you're watching, but do you know, like Martial, I think is someone who divides opinion, but for me, he's starting to improve. He's starting to come good now again the last kind of couple of weeks, and I think I think this second half of the season we're going to see the Martial we saw last season. I think his form is going to start coming back now. Edison Cavani's and they're putting him under pressure. He knows now he has to step up because if he doesn't, he's going to be out of the team. And Ollie has proven to be ruthless at times. And he knows that Cavani's on form and Cavani's an experienced player. He will be banging on all these doors saying, look, he's not scoring goals. I'll score your goals. Do you know what I mean?
His performances are improved, but we really need him to start hitting the back of the net now. Kind of taking longer to open it because it still feels really early in the season, but like we're almost in January now, so it's kind of flying at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So he needs to pick it up soon, but hopefully he does. I think he will.
Yeah, I think he will too. And look again. Like I think we can't be overly reliant on two players to score all of our goals. Like Bruno and
Yeah,
Rashford are literally like them two are literally like bailing us out at the moment. Like so, I think
yeah.
we need if Martial can start getting
Any
on the score sheet.
Yeah, for any success this season, we need Martial and Rashford at the very least the same numbers they did last season. So, like, what was it, 23 goals each they got last year.
Yeah,
So, I think the two of them both need to do that. Bruno is going to be here full season. So, Bruno's probably
Brody.
going to get.
Oh yes, Shane, that is getting clipped up tomorrow. That is getting clipped up. Oh, that's what Wayne Brody. Oh, there you go.
He's probably gonna I think Bruno's our top scorer with 9 goals in all comps, I think. So he's probably gonna get at the very least like 15. So if he can get 15,
I think Bruno is going to get 20 goals this season. I'm calling it now.
yeah,
I'm calling it now. 20 goals this season. Bruno Fernandes is going to score.
like 15 to 20 goals in all comps, and if Rashford can get 20 goals in all comps, then we need Martial at least to be hitting like 15 to 20 as well, and then hopefully Greenwood kind of picks up his form as well, and he can chip in with another few. But yeah,
Yeah,
like we we're not scoring a lot of goals this season, but at the same time, I just feel like the team has so many goals in it
Do you know what the funny thing is? It's funny that you say that, Shane, because we actually have the second most goals scored in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, it's mad because I feel like I'm looking at it and I'm like, Rashford is tipping away, but I feel like he could score more. I feel like Martial hasn't even gotten off the mark yet. I feel like Greenwood has to start scoring. So I feel like most of our goal threats haven't really been hitting so far. But at the same time, I still feel like they're bound to get off the mark sooner or later. So I feel like the team has a lot of goals in it still, you know?
Like it's mad, Shane. It's mad that you say that. 'Cause, like I'm literally looking at the league table right now. Like only Liverpool have scored more goals than Man United this season. Like Liverpool has scored 36 goals. We've scored
Yeah.
28, and we've a game in hand. So that's against Burnley. If we smash Burnley, you
Maybe
never
it's
know. Like, but it's our
maybe
defense that's let us down this year. Let's
yeah,
get
maybe
that right. It's our defense.
I'm like Martial isn't scoring and Greenwood's not scoring, so that's just kind of playing a big part, you know. But it's weird. Maybe I'm just chatting shit, but it's weird. It's weird that we've scored that many because in my head I'm like I feel like we haven't because like Rashford scored a few all right and Bruno scored quite a bit. It's just basically because Greenwood, Martial haven't really been finding the net.
Haven't hit the ground running yet, really. Like.
But that's a good sign if we have scored that many and you're thinking that most of our forwards haven't even gotten into good form yet. So it kind of bodes well.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And just looking ahead now, Shane, to Everton, like obviously, like look, we're on the back now of a 6-2 win over Leeds, and like look, it's the massive, like very great result for us, massive result for us, in the league. But like for you, like how confident are you feeling now coming into the Everton game?
Uh, I think we'll win, to be honest, man. Like, I just don't think everything are great. I know they started off the season well, but I feel like they're kind of after coming back down to their level. And I suppose it depends on how players Ollie rest. But even so, I imagine Pogba and Van de Beek are probably going to start
Yeah, they
Cavani.
didn't.
Uh,
Yeah,
um, yeah, I think where is it in Goodison or
Mark. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say we'll probably win. Like we're better away from home anyway. So I don't know. I'm not fussed either way at the cup anyway, to be honest. But like obviously, if we won, I'd be happy because it would just be nice for Ali to get a trophy. But
Would you love like would you love this? And I'm just picturing this right now, Shane. Ollie beats Jose Mourinho on Wembley in the Carabao Cup finals. Just imagine that scenes.
inject it, but
That'd
inject.
be that. That'd be fantastic. A Bruno penalty or something to win the final for us. Just imagine that. Like that for me. Like that'd be like the icing on the
Yeah,
proverbial cake. Um,
Mourinho.
For you, Shane, there's a comments come in there from Callum McFadden just on the Facebook Live. Callum's a host here on the weekly armchair kickoff. He said, "Love you boys, all the best for Christmas and the New Year." Absolutely, same to you, Callum.
Thanks,
Looking
Callum.
forward to seeing you in 2021. And Joe, congrats for football CFB again. You're doing a fantastic job over there, Callum. So we do appreciate your support over here on our channel as well. So all the best for yourself for Christmas, and Joe, best luck in the new year as well. Um, like Shane, in terms of this, like with Everton, like because for me, a few changes have to be made for this game. Because I think the league is our bread and butter at the moment. We have to be looking more with this league, and we have to be more concentrating on the league. But in saying that, it's important for Ollie to get a trophy as well. So we kind of have to mix and match with kind of our team selection. Now obviously we've listened to Ollie's press conference today, and Scott McTominay's out, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are out. And so for you, who starts? In terms of like predicted 11, who starts for you?
Go Henderson and go. Like if it was up to me, I'd definitely bring Laird into the first team and give him his debut, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. I think he'll probably go Williams right back, which I like Williams, but I don't really rate him. But I also feel like he's not being being played on the left. So maybe
Yeah.
if he got a run of games at right back, his form would pick up. So I want Laird, but it will be Williams right back. I'd go Lindelof and Tuanzebe centre half. I'd rest Maguire. I'd play Tellez left back. I go Pogba and Matic in midfield. I'd play one of Martial or Rashford on the left. I'd probably go on Martial because I'd give him another chance to play himself into a bit of form. And I'd rest Rashford. I'd play Van de Beek 10, and I'd play Greenwood right and Barney up front. Ideally, I kind of want to rest. You'd want to rest Greenwood and Martial, but since they haven't really been amongst the goals, I feel like give them as much game time as possible to give themselves a chance to get their stats up. Give them a chance to stat pads. No.
Yeah, you can't be a good stat pad now and again. You really can't. You really can't. I'm actually going to throw a curveball at you. From I've actually a surprise inclusion in my starting 11 because he's the player who's been included in the squad. So first of all, I'm actually going to go with David De Gea in goal. First of all, I think look, David De Gea's goalkeeper. He won't have much fatigue from playing a goal against Leeds and the weekend. So David De Gea starts in goal for me. I'm going to go with Timothy Fosu. Sorry?
Are you shocked by Henderson's performance against Sheffield? Because I'm fucking rattled by it. Because, oh man, like the second De Gea looked like he's finished, and I was like, yeah, we have Henderson. I was kind of putting all my eggs in his basket, and the fuckers made a fool out of me. I'm bullying like.
Oh, stop! Wait, no. Look, I think we do need to give Dean Henderson time. Like he's still a young goalkeeper. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we can't be jumping on him too hard at this stage. Like, do you know, it's not like he's been dropping clangers every week. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, he's been good most of the time he's played this year. It was just the last game. We'll get over it.
We got 3 points. That's all that matters anyway. Like, I suppose, like when you look at it from that perspective. But look, for me, I'm going to go David De Gea in goal. I think just again, I think it's an important game. You need your most experienced goalkeeper in there. Like, people will diss the Carabao Cup, but we need to win a trophy, and I think he starts. At right back, Brandon Williams was in there for me, but with Everton's threat with Richarlison on that left hand side, I'm going to go for a more defensively secure right back. And with Wan-Bissaka being out, I'm going to go with Timothy Fosu-Mensah. He's like Williams is definitely better than Fosu-Mensah going forward, but I think Fosu-Mensah defensively is a better option for us in this game. And he has recovery pace as well. So yeah, he's someone who I fancy there. I don't know if Tune Zebi's fit. I know last weekend he wasn't fit. So I think we might have no choice to play Lindelof and Maguire centre half, because I remember Ollie was always saying last week we have 2 fit centre backs at the moment. So if that's still the case, then look, I will be going with them too. And centre half. Alex Telles then at left back. I think we need to keep Luke Shaw from the the Leicester game. I think Luke Shaw is a better defender than Telles, but Telles is a lot better going forward. Do you know? I think that's where he's an asset. I think Luke Shaw is a better defender. I think he's more solid. But again, that's why it's good with 2 quality left backs. Do you know, in that position. At whole midfield, I'm going to go with Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba. Again, look, I think McFred needs to get a rest. That's what we're calling him now, McFred. The 2 boys in midfield. Them 2 are getting a rest because look, they've been very good. And I think for the Leicester game, we're going to need high energy in midfield, especially like Yuri Tielemans, James Maddison, Wilfred and Diddy in their midfield. So I think you give them boys a rest. I'm just going to come to a comment before I come to the rest of my team, because I don't agree with this. This is just absolutely ludicrous. Callum O'Mara has said, "Will you not give Phil Jones a chance?" I'd rather no. I'd rather not. I'd rather play Ted Mengi, the young 18-year-old centre half who conceded 6 against Chelsea last week, than have Phil Jones in there.
I think reports saying Rooney will take him on loan at Derby in January. So yeah, that's a bit nuts. Like, and to be fair,
Wayne Rooney, right? He deserves a statue outside Old Trafford for all he's done for United, right? In terms of his goal scoring ability, right? But if he goes ahead and he takes Phil Jones on loan from us, we give him the statue before he even, before he hits 50. Like, do you know what I mean? We give him that statue before then. Like,
can I just say, Jones' defense that anytime he's actually gotten a run of games and stayed injury free, he's looked like a decent, like he actually has a bit of quality about him as a defender. But he never grew out of like his error prone stage. Like he never, young defenders would tend to make mistakes, and he just never grew out of that. And he never really got the chance to because he was so injury prone as well. But yeah.
Do you know there's a conspiracy theory flying around the United fan base at the moment, and I kind of look at it and I'm kind of thinking like, I'm not like I'm gonna hold my hands up. I do not believe in conspiracy theories of any way, any shape or form. But this one kind of really hit home with me. Before every transfer window, Phil Jones always seems to have an injury. When there's rumours him going somewhere, there's always a new report like a week later. Then Phil Jones now injured.
Yeah.
Like, does he really want to leave Man United when he's getting 100 grand a week?
Yeah,
he's not even.
Why would he leave? I'd sit at United's bench and pick up that, no problem. I see that. I United's bench for free, anyways.
Oh, stop. Right, anyway, get on to the rest of my starting 11 anyway. So, obviously, the other two one midfielders, the Man U match, Paul Pogba. Number 10, Donny starts. I think this will be a game for him to maybe prove his quality. Left wing, I agree. I think Martial. I was going to go with Dan James, but that's not the game for him. So I'm going to go Anthony Martial on the left and Cavani on the front. On the right, I've gone with a shocking inclusion here. It's not Jesse Lingard. It's not Mason Greenwood. Pellistri. I've gone with Pellistri right wing. There's a lot of rumours that he's going to feature this week. And I think looking at him in the 23s, this with no Luca Digne playing, I think this would be an opportunistic time for him to get a start. I think this would be an absolutely great opportunity for him to start.
Yeah, he looks good in the other 23s. I didn't think of him, to be honest now, but if he was playing, I'd have no problem either.
Yeah, like there's talks I seen. There's reports from people from in and around the MEN that he's actually gonna feature this week.
Yeah, that'd be nice because he's been doing well in the under 23s. To be fair, I really like United on it. I think there's a couple.
Give me 2 seconds, Shane. I'll jump out there for 2 seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
I just had to turn off the eating there. Let's get a bit roasted by. Yes, like I wouldn't be like either. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like if he starts tomorrow, I'd be happy. Like, do you know what I mean? Now he could drop an absolute stinker tomorrow, and I'd be like, shit, why did I say that? This will get clipped up. Like, do you know what I mean? But no, for me, like, look, he's shown that he's that he could bring quality to this first team, and he's someone that we can actually use. Do you know, on the right hand side, because to whip in crosses, it's something that we've been lacking in the last kind of couple of years. So, and also look, we do have the man that's going to lead us to 21, and to coming next month, Amad Diallo, a player that, let's just say, we're building them up since we found out we signed them. Do you know what I mean? These generational talent coming.
So number 21 is riding on him.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to come in, just drag us through it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to bargain essentially. Jaden, who? Oh, stop. We're going to get killed when this season ends. Like, oh, stop. But, like, yeah, like, look, in terms of that, like, I think we could see Pellistri play. I know from what I heard, he's going to be off the bench probably most likely. But I'm saying, look, if you have him in the squad, you may as well take a chance. Start him. If it doesn't work out, like, look, after 50, 60 minutes, take him off, bring on a Greenwood, bring on a Rashford. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think it could be a good opportunity though to give him a start. For you, score predictions. What do you predict? And this game's going to finish tomorrow.
I am 2-1 United.
2-1 United.
2-1 United.
And who's going to score?
Martial and Van de Beek.
Van de Beek. Okay. For me, I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna go down the same route. I'm gonna go a 2-1 United win. I'm actually gonna go Paul Pogba with the score, and Paul Pogba with the score from the penalty spot tomorrow. Because Bruno's not going to play, so we're gonna get that slow. We're gonna get that slow Paul Pogba run up tomorrow, and that's gonna come back on social media again. And I'm actually gonna go with Marcus Rashford getting a goal off the bench tomorrow. I'm going to go Rashford coming on and getting a goal off the bench, and we win 2-1. For you, Shane, I'm gonna, because obviously this is like the second last United show of 2020, and the last United show of 2020 is obviously going to be the Leicester City preview, which I'm going to be recording Christmas Day. So bear with me that day when I'm recording that. That's going to be I might be a bit scattered when I'm recording it, but it'll still be recorded. But in terms of 2020, Shane, in terms of Manchester United, give me your 3 favourite moments of 2020 as a Manchester United fan.
Jesus fuck, I don't know. I don't know. There haven't been a lot like.
Give me 2 then. Like if you have, give me at least 2.
The one of them is definitely the McTominay goal in the derby against City. That was class, and it was the last time there was fans in Old Trafford as well. And in 2020, fucking, there's probably a better one, but just off the top of my head, the Rashford's winner against PSG this year was class as well. But I'm trying to think what big teams did we beat last year? Because we bet most of them last year in the league.
Bar Liverpool. Liverpool, the only big team we didn't beat in the league last season.
Yeah, dunking on Fat Frank's head 3 times as well was nice. That was good. Laps. This you smoking Leipzig as well was funny. Like, you know? there's a couple. My favorite moment probably is the derby against City. You know, because we were kind of on a good bit of form at the time when Bruno was after coming in and all that, and then, but people were saying we had a couple of, it was kind of the fixtures were kind to us, and then after that it was kind of, that's when we were top 4 after looking like we were completely out of it for most of the season.
Yeah, like I suppose, like for me, I'm actually, that's my top out of 3. Like I have 3 favorite moments. As a Manchester United fan, 2020, I'll go from third to first. The third one, for me, was beating PSG. I did in Champions League away from home, and another kind of last minute ish winner from Marcus Rashford. Again, look, PSG are bitches in the Champions League. Contrary to what I believe that Paris is Marcus Rashford's hunting ground. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one there. The second favourite moment as a Man United fan actually isn't a game as such. My second favourite moment was the signing of Bruno Fernandes. I could have named out all my favourite moments as every single Bruno penalty that we scored. But I know there's people will come at me on social media. I've been boiling enough piss on Twitter recently with my Bruno Fernandes propaganda, so I'm going to leave people alone. I think it's getting classed nearly as bullying at this stage, so I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, I think look, my second favorite moment was the signing of Bruno, because look, 6 months beforehand when we were linked with him, I knew a good bit about Bruno Fernandes, and Jamie Mackie Murphy, who I work with, like he can attest to this. On deadline day in August 2019, when it was knew that we might get him, like I was saying to Jamie all summer, we need to get this guy. We need to get this guy. Like he's a top player with Portugal and in the sport in Lisbon. Like he's a great attacking midfielder. And we didn't get him. And Jamie can attest to this. He can ask him this in the group chat later, Shane. I was like an antichrist in work, because there's rumours then that Tottenham were going to get him, and I was like, Tottenham, get him, lads. I'm telling you, he's top class. Like, he's a great player. Thank God they didn't get him, because Imagine them getting penalties every week and then rubbing it into my face. I'd hate that, but I'm way messing about that. But like, do you know, like he is a top player. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, he's a great player. And look, he's seen the difference he's made since he's come into our club. Like, he's a leader, and for me, he should have that armband. Do you know what I mean? He's more of a leader than Harry Maguire will ever will be. Do you know? So for me, he's a leader. He leads by example, by getting all them goals and assists every week. So for me, he should be the Manchester United captain without a shadow of a doubt. And obviously, number one for me, favorite moment of Manchester United in the year 2020 was that Scott McTominay winner in the last minute against Man City in the derby. It's one of the only times like I actually teared up at the end of a game nearly, because it was the way we won it. Do you know, like we won it at the last minute. Like, little did we know the fact it wasn't going to be like last time fans would be in Old Trafford, but the atmosphere, like at the end when the final whistle was blown,
yeah,
like the atmosphere was unbelievable, and it kind
yeah,
of like we were all behind Ollie. Like, do you know what I mean? It kind of felt like we finally got our club back. Do you know? It was just
yeah,
like that. It felt like, look, we finally got our United back. We finally got our club back.
yeah.
And like the support around, and it kind of felt like that for me. Like, I don't know if it felt like that for you, but at that moment for me, like it felt like
Looked
I
like
had my Man United back.
yeah, it felt like it just felt like the thing was clicking, you know, under him, and it was like, fuck, we might actually be onto something, like. But I
Which
don't.
we still might be. Like, that's the thing. Like, we still might be onto something. But like, look, I've criticised Ollie this season. Like, there's evidence there that I've criticised Ollie this season. And you can go on back on this podcast. You can go on to Mad Red United, or for United, wherever I've been. I've been very consistent when I've said I'd love to see Ollie succeed. I made a prediction and I said, do I see him succeed long term? No, I don't. But at the same time, I still stand behind this. Is that
Yeah, I'd
I'd,
love.
I'd love to see him succeed, like, because
I'm
of who
rooting
he is and
for
what he's done for the club as a player.
him. Yeah, I thought of another moment as well, but I can't remember if it was in 2020 or not. It was, you know, when we played Spurs at Old Trafford last year, and Rashford just beat the fucking brakes off Jose by himself. Because, you know, Jose was giving
That was
Rashford.
in December 19, but I'll give it to you because the season was called to a halt. So
Let's take it
I'll give
in
it to you.
when he
I'll give it to you
just.
because it was Spurs.
Oh man, he absolutely smashed them fucking up, and I loved it because Mourinho disrespected him, like, and just he like Mourinho really hurt Rashford's development, and then Rashford last season, the carry job in the first half of the season, and that performance against Spurs is his best performance in a United shirt so far. Like, man, he just gave Aurier shit. He just stuck it to Spurs by himself. It was amazing, man. That spell form from Rashford when he went to the Etihad as well, and he mashed City up too, and he scored against Liverpool. I fucking love Rashford, man. I fucking love.
I was at that Liverpool game in Old Trafford, and like
Uh,
he roasted Van Dijk that day.
I
Like,
fucking had Van Dijk arching his back like a tramp on the ground, picking himself up off the floor. I love
but
it.
you know what? I remember that game, right? You know, Dan James was like running at Van Dijk, right? But Fabinho came and he cleaned him, like right in front of us. Fabinho cleaned Dan James. I was looking at Dan James in the ground for a couple of seconds, and I was like, "Fuck, is he dead?" Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? He was panned out on the ground, but do
yeah,
you know, like, I suppose I'm gonna leave this the last thing I'm gonna ask you, Joe, tonight in terms of Manchester United. Actually, one more comment that's actually come in before that. Comment in there from Callum O'Mara. He said, "Would he say it'd be fair to strip Maguire of the captaincy and give it to Bruno?" 150%, absolutely.
yeah. Just fuck Maguire, man. He's just too nice to be a captain anyway. Like, you know, like I just don't see. I just don't really see him as
I can
He's,
imagine Bruno walking into that dressing room, Shane. Like, imagine like players aren't pulling their weight. Like, you know for a fact you've seen on the pitch, he'd go in there and he'd
yeah.
tear lumps out there.
He wasn't English. No one would say he's a leader. But even in his defense, you can be a leader and still not be like the captain. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think like there's a couple of people in the team that are a better candidate than Maguire, especially Bruno.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all clipped up live here. Again, on 2 shows running, lads. 2 shows running. Me and Shane agree about Bruno Fernandes. We make it 3 in 2021. Don't worry. But the final thing I'm just going to ask you, Shane, just with relation to United, obviously, is like, look, 2021. There's a lot of football to be played. We're in a lot of competitions. Provincially, we'll hopefully still be in the Carabao Cup. We're in the FA Cup. We're in the Europa League, and I'm going to put an asterisk beside this, but we're potentially now in the title race as well. For you, what are your goals? What do you expect the realistic goals for us to have in 2021 as United fans?
If I'm being completely logical, like all things considered, if we finish top 4 and got a trophy, that would be a good season for Ollie, because I feel like that's the best we can actually hope for Ollie, is getting top 4, maybe picking up a trophy. But it's Christmas, and it's not time to be logical and realistic. We want the fucking we're on a fucking title charge. We're going to win the league.
No, I love your optimism. I love it, Shane. I love your optimism. I absolutely love your optimism. Look, for me, I think I echo that. Like, I think, like, look, if we can get a top 4 finish, I think that'd be good, considering all things considered. People were writing us off a couple of weeks ago in terms of top 4. I think. But I'm not saying top 4. I think if we're the best of the rest, I think Liverpool are going to win the league this year. Let's be real about it. I think Liverpool will win the league, and I'm quoting Man United show because I'm an honest person. I think that's going to happen. But in saying that, if that's the case, we need to be the best of the rest. I think that's a realistic target. I think we can finish in the top 2, top 3.
Yeah, I feel like we have the quality to be like the second best team in the squad, but it's just like with Ollie's deficiency as manager, I don't know if we can do it consistently enough to be the best of the rest. But I feel like the quality is there. Like, we definitely have a chance if we can just get a run a game together, you know. But
yeah, I think that's the realistic target. And I think if we go, I think Europa League has to be a thing that we have to aim to win. I think we knocked out Real Sociedad. We've knocked out one of the favourites to win the tournament. They're top of the league. I mean, they're a quality team, and I know Spurs will be the only other team we'd probably be looking at. I'd actually consider a threat in that competition. I think everyone else we should be quite convincingly. It's like Sevilla and Inter Milan aren't in it this year, so I think Europa League definitely should be a target, and I think we should definitely go for the FA Cup, considering we got to the semi-final of it last season. I think that's most definitely a realistic target.
I'd love for Ollie to pick up a trophy, you know, especially if he's not here next season. Like, I just like him to pick up a trophy at United, because it'd just be nice to see.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I massively agree. So that is our Everton preview. That's it wrapped up. We will be back later this week. Well, I'll be back anyway on Christmas Day, where I'll be previewing the Leicester City game. I'll also be reviewing this game, and hopefully I'm not too lettered. I'm positive enough on the show on Christmas Day, when we're previewing the game. As always, look, do follow our social media handles there as well. You can catch me on Twitter at Keane_Franey for all your Bruno Fernandes propaganda daily, and also you can follow our podcast page at Weekly Armchair as well. And look, to my right, you can follow at Shane Dowley 97 for all your Paul Pogba, all your Paul Pogba propaganda on Twitter, and he just trolls people non-stop on Twitter.
Account now is Pogba and Rashford split.
and you might see an odd Rooney tweet pop up now and again as well. and he also does this Arsenal as well. I think if I go to Twitter tonight, I think Arsenal will be getting a verbal battering off Shane tonight. But
funny to dunk on, like, I like Arsenal, but fucking they suck. Like, they're very bad.
Oh, stop! Oh, they're brutal, aren't they? I can't wait to go on. I can't wait to watch AFTV now later, like just AFTV and chilling out for the rest of the night, like, you know what I mean? But and as always, look, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching this on Twitter or Facebook, do jump over to the Weekly Armchair Kickoff YouTube channel. Do smash the like in the video. Do subscribe, and we do have a lot of content coming in 2021. So I do appreciate everyone's support and continued. And look, it's always good to get all the lads on every week, and we voice their opinions about football. So thanks very much everyone for watching, and look.